Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. I'm William Hindman. This is Just Force 911, where we look at how our public officials do their job or they just boot screw it up. Hey, guys, today this comes to us, sorry, from the Institute of Dr. Rashad, which is TYT. If you would, please go over to him. Tell him I sent you guys over there. Check out his channel. He has a lot of stuff over there with a lot of good information. He gets into a lot of the things that most people run from. He doesn't run, he turns and directs it right head on. Sorry, folks. So, without further ado, oh, that reminds me, sorry. If you would, when you go over there, hit his subscribe, hit his like and share, and hit his thumbs up. And while you're here, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, hit the like and share, and let's get on with the video. Okay? This is about a officer who comes to a call about a black man in dreads who they end up running over with a cruiser. Cop pulls up, thinks it's in park, and jumps out of his squad car. And as they're putting him in handcuffs for jaywalking, throwing him on the ground, using excessive force, of course. And then the cruiser creeps up and runs over the black gentleman because he has dreadlocks and in his hair. You know, when is this going to stop, folks? You know, this is 2025, okay? This is ridiculous. There's no reason for this. This needs to go away. This needs to stop. These bad cops need to be put away or fired or tarred and feathered or whatever we can do to them. Okay? Because this is absolutely ridiculous. Let's check this out.
A police cruiser runs over a black man during a jaywalking arrest. The irony of this. Here it is.
Stop! Don't police! Get on the ground right now. Get on the ground. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Got the hand. Go over your stomach.
Nobody's in it. Nobody's in it. Nobody's in it.
Just have sergeant for
Not any move.
Hang on, Jones. Nobody's in the car. I'll go in the back of it.
Is he under it?
I've never seen that. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
Y'all just ran me over, bro. Y'all just ran me over, bro.
They ran the man over. A cop car runs him over. They still proceed to handcuff him.
Yeah, don't check to make sure he's okay. Don't apologize. Instead, drag him over, put your knee in his back, forcibly handcuff him. Good job, guys. You scumbags need to be tarred and feathered. And then have your accreditation taken away. Absolutely appalling.
Arrest him. What is the underlying reason? It must be something quite massive.
Yeah, it's jaywalking. He had enough time to go into Quick Trip, get whatever it was he was getting in Quick Trip, come out of Quick Trip before they ever bothered to even talk to the gentleman because they saw him walk across the street as jaywalk. Wow, these guys are right on top of the ball, I'll tell you. What a bunch of worthless scumbags.
Put it full mass. police cruiser decided to run over this man. This was during his arrest for jaywalking. He was arrested for jaywalking. Camonte Hampton was ran over by an unattended police cruiser, an incident involving police officers in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and a black alleged jaywalker resulted in the civilian being injured by the police cruiser that one officer apparently failed to put in park.
And I'm sure that they will come up with something that, it was faulty or, wasn't the fault of the officer, because this black man had dreads, which means he's either a drug dealer, or something that, is nefarious. And this is the kind of thinking that you get from these cops. This is the same state, Oklahoma, where the sergeant threw the elderly gentleman down on the concrete and bounced his head off the concrete. So this kind of treatment doesn't surprise me at all.
Before exiting. Also, it arguably looks like.
And he was either a Japanese or Chinese gentleman. Mr. Wong, I think, if I remember right. That also happened in Oklahoma.
It could be a case of racial profiling gone wrong. You see, body cam footage obtained by KJRH News shows the moment one of the officers rode up on Mr. Hampton in a Quick Trip parking lot on April 15th. Officers pinned Hampton to the ground when the cruiser rose backward over the suspect. Police Captain Richard Mullenberg told KWGS Local that an officer attempted to stop Hampton for failing to use a crosswalk when crossing the street. Mullenberg identified the cop as Officer Caleb Strobel, who he said tried to get Hampton to come over to his vehicle. But Hampton walked, not ran, just walked away. No, sir, he was just continuing walking. That's all he did. Okay?
And why is it all these cops have this bald head? And they think just because they're cops, you have to stop and talk to them. Unless you're under arrest, you don't have to talk to a cop. These guys are jokes.
Prompting him to chase the jaywalking. So what the hell are y'all doing, man? The jaywalking suspect in and out of a hotel in an area and around the Quick Trip. Mullenberg didn't identify the officer whose cruiser ran over Hampton. Another officer is responding to the scene, pulls up there to assist. He believes he parks his car, puts his car in park, and while he was back assisting, his car was actually not in park. It was in reverse. So it actually backs into the officer and the suspect. But see, Mullenberg also noted that Mr. Hampton was taken to the hospital treated for his injuries, and that a panel within the police department will determine this month if the unnamed officers' actions should be internally reviewed. Sir, it should be internally reviewed while your cops are chasing and so damn gun-ho to get involved in a jaywalking incident. Let me tell you something, man. I'm perplexed by this. What is the excitement about a jaywalker? Oh, black male with dreads. Got it? Now that's something, isn't it? Black man with dreads. The rest of it can be whatever. You just need some pretext to create the context for the arrest. The chief, Mullenberg, also offered another interesting tidbit, not an apology. Tidbit of information here that might shed a little light on why the jaywalking incident resulted in such an aggressive police response in the first place. Per KWGS, Mullenberg said Hampton's initial police stop stemmed from increased calls for more policing in the area after an uptick of violent and drug-related crimes.
So when did jaywalking become a violent crime or have anything to do with drugs? See, this is the kind of mindset you get with somebody that has a 15 IQ. This is exactly what you get.
This included jaywalking enforcement. He said, so the chief said, the police typically issue a citation to jaywalkers at most, unless they have outstanding warrants. Hampton wasn't using the crosswalk, so he was jaywalking. So we have probable cause to stop and talk to that person, he said. Yeah, it's called pretext once again. That's correct. He's citing the law. But people are saying that it's drugs and crime in the area. And we have a problem with jaywalkers. That doesn't even make sense, sir. You're saying this is the complaint? I guarantee you folks that are complaining about hardcore drugs and hardcore violence, they're not complaining about a city ordinance of jaywalkers. You threw that in there and shame on you. Quote, is it a minor infraction, he says? He answers his own question. Yes, absolutely. But it comes on the demands of the community saying, hey, we have these major crimes out here. Do something. Put up the chief again. Chief Mullenberg said, we're going to do it. We're going to stop every black male with dreadlock jaywalker that you have, because we know what you're saying. We speak code just like you. That's what the chief is saying. So he's going to go after jaywalkers. The chief told the local news KJRH, leading up to the incident, for months, we had hundreds of calls in that area, in that inn. Mr. Hampton was charged with misdemeanor improper walking. That's the actual charge. Misdemeanor improper walking and obstructing an officer, indicating that his stop didn't produce a reason for more serious charges such as, drugs, weapons, warrants, the things you said you were doing, sir. It's a damn shame, man. The community deserves better than you. You have taken their probably authentic plea for assistance and rolled it into a defense for your cops and the ridiculous way they handled this. Shame on you. All right, Jordan, thoughts here.
I just, like you say, why does he need to be in handcuffs after being run over by a cop car for jaywalking? Like, at what point, like, what would it take for them to consider, hey, maybe we should get him medical help first? Maybe this minor offense is not that big of a deal. And you have to wonder, what if he was white? What if it was a white woman?
Well, I hate to say this, guys, but you're missing the point. These guys only have a 15 IQ. I am not saying this to be mean. I am saying this because this is a fact. These clowns don't have enough sense to pour piss out of a boot.
Who jaywalked? What would the response be? What would, if somehow they still went after her, if she got run over by a car, what would they do? I can't help but think it would be different. And this callousness toward people they are there to protect and serve, you're seeing, is never about that. It is punitive, it is aggressive, it is brutal and barbaric. And now this person has injuries, who knows how bad, that are totally avoidable had they just remained calm, not escalated the situation, and not resorted to slapping cuffs on this person, again, for jaywalking. If I had $1 for every person I saw jaywalking, I would be able to retire. It is, yes, we shouldn't do it, but it happens all the time.
And usually, Jordan, when police departments engage in these pretextual stops, right? If they find something, then they charge you with everything. But if they don't find anything, they typically don't charge you just with the pretextual thing, because the pretextual thing wasn't the thing. These guys still charged them with the pretextual thing because they didn't find anything. And now you have cities that are passing laws that make it illegal for cops to pull you over in a pretextual stop. Why? Because they've abused it. That's.
You mean that cops abuse their authority? Really? You mean they lie under oath? They steal, they cheat? No. Yeah, they do, people. Hey, remember, always film the police and your public officials. You can't trust them, guys. And if you would, go over to Dr. Rashad and tell him I sent you guys over there. He has a lot of good information. He covers a lot of stuff that Most outlets won't cover, but TYT, they will cover it. They don't care. Okay, so you guys have a good one, a safe one, and we'll talk to you soon.